Alright, YouTube, it is the Bat Nerd, and I am, excuse me a moment, and I am here with a new Bat Nerd review. So this is a double feature because, well, recently we've had the passing of Joel Schumacher, who was a great filmmaker. He did a lot of great movies, movies like Lost Boys, Flatliners, Phone Booth, and also the movies that I'm going to review here in this video, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. So, yes, this video is also tributed to him. He was a great great film director and filmmaker. Did have a few flaws. Not all of his movies were, well, brilliant or, weren't to my taste. But I have fond memories of Batman and Forever and Batman and Robin. As a kid, I remember loving those movies, but looking at them now as an adult, I do kind of see the cheese factor and why people didn't, why they weren't as greatly received. So, but anyway, I'm reviewing these movies now. So, first one is Batman Forever. So this is directed by Joel Schumacher, produced by Tim Burton. Once, I think when Michael Keaton saw the script for this movie, he just lost interest and they had to recast. So this stars Val Kilmer, Chris O'Dowd, Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, and Nicole Kidman, and also features Drew Barrymore. So this one follows, Batman, now played by Val Kilmer, facing the evil Two-Face Harvey Dent, who is recast from Billy D. Williams to Tommy Lee Jones in this one. And he is just wanting to make chaos in Gotham City. And then we have Ed Nygma, played by Jim Carrey, who goes off the rails and is insane and feels ignored and becomes the Riddler. And him and the Riddler join forces and do cause chaos around Gotham and plan to implant people's brains in their into TVs as such. And Batman tries to stop him, but then he gets the help of Dick Grayson, aka Robin, played by Chris O'Dowd, who ends up joining him and helping him fight after his family is murdered by Two-Face. And yeah, so let's get on to my likes and dislikes. First of all, the likes. I liked this movie as a kid, and I kind of still do now. I think the visuals and the effects have held up, and the cinematography has too. Tommy Lee Jones, although he was playing Two-Face, to me he was acting like the Joker, like wacky insane. So was Jim Carrey, even though he was playing the Riddler. But still, they were, they made the movie watchable with their comedic villainy and their lunacy and craziness, so they were very entertaining to watch in this movie. Val Kilmer, I feel like he played Bruce Wayne a bit seriously, but played Batman brilliantly. And Chris O'Dowd, he was the young practical Joker, but he knew when it was time to get serious, and I liked his portrayal of Robin. I also like how the costume almost resembles the classic Robin, with the R there. They don't do that at all in the next movie. But I also love the soundtrack to this movie. They change it up a bit. Tim Burton's still on board as a producer for this movie, but they got the late great Joel Schumacher to direct. I guess I did and I didn't like that they brought back the campiness in this. I mean, Tim Burton's first two Batman movies were very dark, very, gothic. This one, they lighten the mood and put in some cheese, even some corny one-liners which they would have used back in the Adam West era. So those are a few little errors there. I also didn't like how cartoonish it was at times when it was meant to be serious, but hey, it's gone down to me as a cult favorite. Well, it's gone down to me as a favorite. I don't know if it's a cult favorite. So, final thoughts and ratings. Batman Forever. I enjoy this movie. but also the romance story between Bruce and Nicole Kidman's character, I feel was kind of forced. But I feel like Nicole Kidman was just there to be like, I don't know, eye candy or something. I don't know. So, yeah, Batman Forever. With all this being said, I'm gonna give Batman Forever 3 Batarangs out of 5. And now for the second movie, Batman and Robin. So this one again is directed by Joel Schumacher, only now Batman has been replaced again, recast by George Clooney. Still has Chris O'Dowd as Robin, and this has Alicia Silverstone in it, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Uma Thurman, and another thing I forgot to mention about Batman Forever. I love that soundtrack from Seal, Kiss of a Rose. It's a beautifully done song, and I kind of do like the video. I do feel though that it could have been a better soundtrack for Batman and Robin, given that we have Poison Ivy in Batman and Robin. So, yeah, Mr. Freeze is, well, a mad scientist who is, adjusted to the cold and has to have everything freezing, and is searching for a cure to cure his wife, Nora Freeze, from a disease called McGregor syndrome. However, Alfred Pennyworth, Bruce Wayne's butler, played by Michael, what's his name? He actually has gone on to play Alfred in all 4 of the early Batman movies, so he's the only one who stuck to his role. And he does a great performance in them too. He is sick and ill, and Bruce Wayne, Batman, discovers that he's cured it in certain stages and he can save Alfred. Anyhow, there's the evil Poison Ivy, played by Uma Thurman, who can seduce men and kiss them with her venomous lips, and sorts of causes a conflict between Batman and Robin. Not only that, but Batman let him kind of shit on him a bit, because he's not done. He made a mistake while stopping Mr. Freeze in the opening act of the movie, so he feels he's not ready to take on any of the big stuff, and that causes more intensity between them two. But still, when they make up and everything, I love the dynamic between them and how they face him. I loved Alicia Silverstone. Now, originally she was Barbara Gordon, Jim Gordon's daughter. I feel that Commissioner Gordon is very unused in these movies too. In this, she's Alfred's niece, and she's, she ends up helping Batman and Robin, and she becomes Batgirl in this. And she's great in this. And Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze, after Poison Ivy sabotages Mr. Freeze's wife's chamber and lets him believe that she's dead, but she's not, she's frozen. She wants to then have Freeze over the earth, and she can grow these plants, because she thinks plants are more important than people. Which, I guess, the Amazon rainforest is an important matter. But anyway, so likes and dislikes. Now, first of all, I gotta get straight to the dislikes. This wasn't a brilliantly made movie. For my 6-year-old self, this was just a fun action movie that I enjoyed. I didn't care who was who in it. But looking at it now as an adult, I can see that this movie, I can understand why people hate it. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. I guess he had the look for it, but when it came to playing the character, he just made a lot of cringy puns. And yeah, very cringy puns. And his performance was kind of laughable. Uma Thurman, I just didn't like her as Poison Ivy. She had the beauty for it, but her Poison Ivy was just a bit sly and devious, and I didn't find her a very likable character. I really didn't. And Bane, my god, what the hell were they thinking with Bane, having him be like a big slave or a servant, a henchman to Poison Ivy, with his big, and all he's saying is Bane, and him just not being the Bane we know from the comics or the animated series of Batman. Of course, Bane wasn't a very old character back then. He only was introduced into the 90s, I think. And George Clooney, I don't know what the hell was going on with him. He just looked bored. I mean, he played a charming Bruce Wayne, which was good, but when it came to playing Batman, I was like, oh god, yeah, he just doesn't know what he's doing. And he thought it would be a good career move at the time, but clearly it hasn't. And this did cause the Batman franchise to not be touched or anything until 8 years later with Batman Returns, when it was rebooted by Christopher Nolan. But, yeah, Batman and Robin just isn't a brilliant movie. I mean, Joel Schumacher, he didn't do too bad with the previous movie, but this one, I hate to say it, but he didn't do good with this one. It wasn't a brilliantly made movie, but there were some good flaws in there. I mean, it's an enjoyable family movie. I guess enjoyable if you're a 6-year-old kid like I was at the time when this came out. But now it's like, yeah, just not a brilliant one. But, you know, everybody has an off day. Every good filmmaker and actor has their off day. So this was one of those days for Joel Schumacher and the cast. You know, George Clooney, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Chris O'Dowd stayed on to play Robin. But yeah, there's just so much of this movie that yells out cringe. So with all that being said, I'm gonna give Batman and Robin, I guess there were a few good moments in there, but this was meant to have a 5th movie where they faced Scarecrow, but that never happened given the disappointment of this movie. I'm giving Batman and Robin 2.5 Batarangs out of 5. So there you go. That has been my Bat Nerd Reviews double feature tributed to Joel Schumacher. You know, despite him making a little bit of a mess, well, a big mess with the Batman movies, I still respect the man and I still enjoy his other movies he's done. So, Joel Schumacher, rest in peace and safe journey. This has been the Bat Nerd. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. I'll be back with some stuff. I will be doing an update video, so yeah, until next time, Bat Nerd out.